Hello everyone and welcome to another video here on the channel. Today we heard the news that Gold Coast have parted ways and have sacked Gold Coast coach Stuart Dew after 5.5 years at the helm. Now, there was speculation for weeks that there was a review of the coaching department, including Stuart Dew, obviously, and that was being worked through. It was shot down. Stuart Dew was blindsided that they actually were talking about his position at the club. It hasn't been run well from the people in the board level and everything like that, the people that are doing the sackings as well. Very, very disrespectful, I feel, to Stuart Dew, how they handled the situation, like a few other clubs did, other scenarios as well. But, yeah, it's a real shock. It's a real shock. As we didn't see this coming, at least not at this stage of the season, when literally the other day they said they would see how the season would transpire. A lot of mixed messages. It's just really, really concerning for the club to how they've portrayed the messaging. Then due not to be told of a process, and the media knew. It's just a shit show at the moment. The AFL part, they own the Gold Coast Suns as well. They've obviously not handled it well on their end either. Surprise, surprise, like many other things AFL don't handle well. But yeah, it's a blindsided Stewie Dew, unfortunately, and he's been let go as the Suns coach, and obviously there'll be an interim for the rest of the year. But the major focus will then turn to Damien Hardwick. He was burnt out when he left Richmond and departed ways with the club on his terms. I think it was pushed out. He knew he was gone at the end of the year. That burnt out was fabricated a little bit. He wasn't necessarily burnt out. Because then 4 weeks later on a podcast, on someone's podcast, he says he's rejuvenized and everything, blah, blah, blah. Gold Coast will have spoken to Damien Hardwick before today's announcement of Stewie Dew officially being sacked. They've spoken to him, and I would say he's the red-hot favourite to be the new coach of the Gold Coast Suns, would Damien Hardwick. You don't go from being burnt out to 4 weeks later being perfect, and all of a sudden a coach has been sacked at this right opportune time. Hardwick clearly has said he wants it, and they may tell you a process, blah, blah, blah. But Damien Hardwick, I feel, be the red-hot favourite right now to be the new Gold Coast Suns coach. Look, I feel for Stewie Dew. You've seen some of the players that have posted in the past about re-signing contracts like Bailey Humphrey. Said he re-signed. When he re-signed earlier this year, he said, and I quote, he re-signed because he loves the club and the coach, Stuart Dew. Now he's not going to be there, unfortunately. Will Bailey and others follow soon, changing their mind, not liking how Stewie Dew's sacking was handled, how it was handled, let alone how it happened, but it happening. So I think it's poorly run, how the media can find out, but Stuart Dew did not know about the process. There was the terms labelled last night on Footy Classified that the rats, and on AFL 360, there's a rat in the Gold Coast Suns. Well, I just feel more for Stuart Dew, how he's been handled in this situation. He was blindsided, generally blindsided, because he wasn't even told of the process before he was officially sacked the last week or two. I feel for Stuart Dew. I feel for the players at the Suns as well. They're still a finals contender, a bit harder in their situation with their percentage and their games, but still they're a part of that logjam. And I just really feel sorry for Stuart Dew and the players in the Gold Coast Suns, the board and those people. They seem to embarrass themselves yet again. We've had McKenna, we've had Rocket Eade, we've had Stewie Dew for the last 5.5 years. You've seen some improvement. You've seen some good performances against Melbourne, Geelong. They beat, so they've had some good performances. So it's just like, this is what not. I wouldn't have done this. Who's to say now if they made finals to the end of the year, and say Stephen King? I don't know officially while I'm recording this as of right now, who the interim coach will be. But let's say it's Stephen King. If they make finals, people go, oh, yep, give it to Stephen King. He's turned them around. No. Stuart Dew turned this club around from being very mediocre to being competitive. So I feel for Stuart Dew. Whoever gets the interim job, whether it's Stephen King or anyone else, I don't think if they make finals, it's not solely off their work. It's off the progression that Stewie Dew's made. Look at players like Rowell and Anderson and Ben King and players like that over the last few years that have re-signed. Will Powell, Bailey Humphrey, and a few other players as well. So it's like, you see the culture, they love him. Jared Witts and Tuke Miller played their career best seasons in the last few years under Stuart Dew. Yeah, it's just very disappointing. You got Ballard, you got Collins, you got Will Powell, got a bunch of players in that back line. In the midfield, you got Rowell, Anderson, Miller, Witts is the ruckman. The forward line, you got Bailey Humphrey that can float through there. You got Ben King. You've got Jack Lukosius. They got a lot of good crop of young players and some experienced players along the way as well. Very disappointing if I was a Suns fan here. Stuart Dew's not only been blindsided, but he's been absolutely disrespected by the board and the people that were part of the sacking. Those people should be ashamed of themselves. Hopefully, Stuart Dew finds a job in football again, which I'm sure he won't have a problem with doing. Will he venture down the Nathan Buckley route and go on TV and radio? We'll have to wait and see there. But we wish Stuart Dew all the best. And again, Stuart Dew's officially been sacked today as the Gold Coast Suns coach. Who will be the replacement? Sound down below who you think it'll be. I think it'll be Damien Hardwick. I think he's a red-hot favourite, 99% sure right now, and that's very confident this early in the game. I think, to be honest, he's been given the job, hence why the Dew sackings happen right now and not giving him a chance to improve himself to the end of the year. So they could still make the 8. Unlikely because of their percentage and part of that low champ, but they can still make it. Not just mathematically, they're realistically a chance. Blindsided. Damien Hardwick must have said yes. How do you think the Suns players will feel if they find out in the end that Damien Hardwick's going to be their coach and like, okay, big name coach, great, but you treated ours like shit. What the hell do I want to be under him? Players that went from Richmond to Gold Coast, like Marbiel Chol and Brandon Ellis, what are they going to think about this? Like, we left Richmond for a reason. Especially Marbiel Chol left for a reason. He was in and out of the team, very inconsistent. His first year at the Suns, he was terrific. This year, not so great. How's he going to feel? Like, I'm just going to be in the same predicament again. What's this mean for some veteran players like Alex Sexton and Sam Day, players like that? What's going to happen to those type of players that are on the cusp? We have to wait and see on this. If there's any more developments, you'll be first to be notified right here on the YouTube channel, AFL information, trade rumors and results. Smash that like button. I want to aim for 20 likes on this video and subscribe if you haven't already. Once we hit 3K, there'll be a special giveaway. Thank you all. Until the next video, take care and go you mighty Saints. And of course, unfortunately today, the news is that Gold Coast Suns coach Stuart Dew has been sacked and Damien Hardwick is the red hot favourite. Thank you and go Saints.